Our next guest is a podcaster, wellness expert, and best-selling author who's released her 10th health title, Treasured Chest, to bring awareness to health concerns that directly affected her personal journey. Here to chat more is author Andi Lew. Andi, thanks so much for joining us.
Oh my gosh, 10th book. Thank you so much for having me.
Yes.
Oh, Olivia, you know, last time I was here, I wasn't even that well and I didn't realise it. But now with Treasured Chest, I'm free to be me. And it's drawing awareness to breast implant illness and undetected ruptures in breast implants.
Wow.
I think it's really important to address the stats and facts. That is that breast augmentation is no longer the #1 cosmetic surgery. Explants are on the rise. The FDA have announced that, you know, it is not inert. Silicone is not inert. So what we were traditionally looking for when we saw holes in the bags for a rupture is actually a complete gel bleed now.
Wow.
Yeah.
So this book basically is really about your own personal health journey and your own personal journey when it comes to implants. So again, this is called Treasured Chest. I just want to hold this up for everybody. And this is your 10th book release. So obviously you're always talking about health and wellness. But why did this specific book mean so much to you personally, Andi?
Well, like a lot of other women, I had to address the root cause of why I implanted in the first place. I mean, let's address the elephant in the room. I'm a wellness expert, so why on earth would I implant something when there is a black box warning, you know, on these devices? And so, you know, we really understand that there are risks, and you think it's all fun and games until it does happen to you, and then it does. And so, you know, there are a lot of women that have said that they actually went through trauma too, and that was the reason for implanting. So it was kind of a bittersweet story because there was no rupture detected, so 6 surgeons and an MRI said you're fine, and I was slowly dying and shutting down as my natural detoxification pathways were trying to expel this toxic foreign, you know, body. I also had to do that deep work. And so now, as you can see, the cover's quite empowered and it doesn't have to be scary. And so I'm helping these women on the journey that when they are getting ready to shed, that they can have extreme health and wellness, because they're starting to join the dots and say, well, you know what, I do have autoimmune disease, or I do have, there's new types of cancers, sadly, found in the surrounding scar tissue, which is called squamous cell carcinoma and anaplastic large cell lymphoma. So it's not important just to remove the implant bags, but the surrounding scar tissue as well.
And for you personally, Andi, at what point did you realize that you were sick and that you needed to be checked out by a doctor? What were some of the signs?
Yeah, so there was hair loss, there was tinnitus, like a brain buzzing and a brain fog that was extreme. And a lot of people kind of go, well, it was because of my hormones, or it was because of PTSD that I was previously diagnosed with. But there was a defining point when my psychologist said to me, listen to you talking, you've moved from clinical psychology to positive psychology. And I think that was when I started listening to my diagnosing doctor and went, you know what, you're right, this potentially is breast implant illness. And lucky I persisted, because the explant surgeon said to me, you were right, there was a hole in the bag exactly where you were pinpointing it to be. He said, you're better than an MRI. So as a result of that, new data came about, and now we can proudly say that the implants are the inflammatory driver which creates a cytokine storm.
Wow. And for you, when you first found out everything that was going on and you were able to have these conversations with the doctor, at that point, how did your journey of healing kind of begin to unfold?
You know, it's still a journey. You know, I've still got the hair loss. I'm wearing hair extensions. There's still tinnitus. We're detoxing from silicone. A lot of the ladies are very mad and sad, you know, and this is why it's important to go through what you need to do in the book. So you're detoxing from anything from parasites to mold to silicone, heavy metals, and there's a lot. And, you know, chiropractic can help. And I think it's a great thing too. I had an adjustment today at one of the local Golden Gate chiropractors, but, you know, changing your cage and your, you know, your rib cage and your posture really can change the way your, I guess, beauty presents as well. And so, you know, those are the kinds of things that are really important to detox with. Having all of those wellness professionals take you through everything that you can do to start to get well, because there's also emotional health as well. And removing that deep shame of why I did this to myself in the first place.
And when people unfold the book, right, and they open up the pages to Treasured Chest, what exactly are they going to discover, Andi?
Yeah, I mean, I'm hoping that I get to change the way the profession practices, the cosmetic profession. It's way too expensive, so some people might find ways to pay for it. So it's $14,000 and they're not ready for that. You know, they might also discover that, you know, some of their symptoms, you know, dry eyes, inability to sweat, irritable bowel syndrome and everything might be as a result of the implant. So I'm hoping that they'll go and get checked by their original implanting surgeon or a doctor. And yeah, I'm hoping that the wider public will start to support us.
Absolutely.
And, you know, change the way we view women and really address one of my favourite chapters is like, who's really in control? Let's take back agency of our divine femininity.
And what do you hope when people do read the pages? Because it's amazing, they'll get your personal journey and so much insight into a lot of the things that your doctors have told you. But what do you hope they take away from reading Treasure Chest?
To really pay it forward, you know, to get the book for anyone that may have implants or thinking about it, because we need to sort of, I guess, educate and empower others. We've got contributions there from Professor Diva, who was the original implanting surgeon, my diagnosing doctor, Dr. Tanya Ash, who wrote a whole bunch of stuff in there, and she's got 31 years experience in medical practice. She's been through it herself as well. And also understanding that breast implant illness is actually mast cell activation syndrome. So the mast cells, or mast cells you guys say, are the immune cells, and they start to attack each other as they realise that there's a foreign body in there that wants to be expelled or expelled. Yeah.
So much to really unpack within this book, but it is your 10th book, so congratulations.
Thank you. And it does not have to be scary, you guys. It's actually a really empowering, freeing feeling. Symptoms go away almost instantly.
Amazing. Well, Andi, thank you so much for joining us again here. It was a pleasure to have you back.
Thank you, Olivia.
Of course.